Hello there and welcome back, guys. So the NHL Draft 2024 in Las Vegas in the Sphere is officially over, or at least the first round to be precise, and we have some major talking points to be talking about. It has been a great draft with a lot of surprises, really. So let's start right from the beginning, right from the get-go. Pick number one, Macklin Celebrini, a no-brainer there for sure. I have made a video on this channel about Macklin Celebrini just about 2 days ago, so you can make sure to go check that one out. He's a great player, projected to be NHL superstar. He has been familiar with the San Jose area. He has played for the Junior Sharks team, so definitely he knows the environment. A great top player. No question, no brainer. Who was going number one? It's Macklin Celebrini, of course. Let's move straight to the pick number two. And the number two goes to the Chicago Blackhawks. Last year they drafted Connor Bedard as first overall. This time they decided to go for a defenseman, and they chose Artem Levshunov from the Michigan State University. Levshunov, he's a 6'2" defenseman, 209 pounds, born in October 2005. So Artem Levshunov, last year they decided to go for the forward. This time they decided to go for defenseman, but he is definitely a offensive-minded defenseman. He's just a pure offensive defenseman based on the scouting reports. Corey Pronman from The Athletic gave the Chicago Blackhawks a grade A- on this pick. I tend to agree. I think it was a good pick. Again, you might wonder, I might wonder why they didn't choose another great player, Ivan Demidov, a great offensive player from Russia, from SKA St. Petersburg, to go along with Connor Bedard. That could have been a great offensive duo, Ivan Demidov alongside Connor Bedard. But it has been known for a couple of days at least that the Chicago Blackhawks are leaning more towards a defenseman, and eventually they made their pick, and they picked the best defenseman available in this draft class, offensive-minded defenseman, Levshunov from the Michigan State University, from the NCAA. I think a good pick overall. Chicago obviously has Connor Bedard, the superstar forward. Right now they have a great defenseman. Again, The Athletic is speaking that the player from the current NHL that could be compared to Levshunov is Brent Burns, again, according to Corey Pronman. So we should see, but definitely Levshunov looks to be a really good player. Again, he was born in Belarus, but the past couple of years he has been playing in the United States. So let's go to pick number three. The pick number three, definitely the biggest surprise of the draft. Anaheim Ducks, they went for Beckett Seneke, right wing from Oshawa Generals in the OHL. Definitely a big surprise there. They had some other, great defenders available. They had some other star forwards available, such as Ivan Demidov and others, but they decided to go for Beckett Seneke, who is in his own right a pretty good player. I mean, by no means was he expected to go to the second round, like he was maybe like 11 to 12, 15, I don't know, but something in that range. Definitely he was super excited. You could see it on his face when he was drafted. He was absolutely surprised. A big surprise there from the Anaheim Ducks. Let's see if it will pay off or not. He is 6'2", 181 pounds. And yeah, player comparable, again, according to The Athletic, Corey Pronman, Kyle Connor. So let's see what Seneke will become. They have a couple of good forwards already in Anaheim. Beckett Seneke looks to be another one. He's very skilled, skates pretty well, according to The Athletic, based on what he's like, 6'2", according to his size. He skates pretty well, looks to be very skilled. But definitely a big surprise. You would expect other players to go third overall. So Beckett Seneke going to Anaheim Ducks. A big surprise in the pick number three. I mean, I don't want to talk about all of the picks in depth very much, but the pick number four, Columbus Blue Jackets, Caden Lindstrom, the center, definitely a good pick there. He was expected to go very, high in this draft, and he went fourth overall. He has been playing for Medicine Hat Tigers in the WHL this past season. He was born in February 2006, 6'3", 214 pounds. He's expected to be top of the lineup player. He's expected to be the number 2 center on the NHL level in the future. So definitely Columbus Blue Jackets right now, they have two pretty good centers in their organization. situation. Obviously, last year they drafted Adam Fantilli. So Adam Fantilli potentially could be our #1 center in Columbus, and then potentially a couple of years ahead down the road, Caden Lindstrom could be the #2 center. Again, it's very important for the teams to have very strong first through centers, and Columbus, who knows, in the future, especially Adam Fantilli and Caden Lindstrom could be a great duo. So good pick for Columbus Blue Jackets overall, I do believe. #5, Montreal Canadiens, and they did get their boy Ivan Demidov, the star boy of this year's draft. He's known to be the most purely skilled player of this draft class, and he is playing on a right wing for SKA St. Petersburg. He has been playing in a Russian junior hockey this past season, and he has been clearly the best player in the Russian junior hockey in the past 2 years. He's a great skilled player, great skilled forward. He is not really that tall. He's 6 foot, but he definitely is a great player for Montreal Canadiens, and I think right now probably Montreal has the strongest, or definitely one of the strongest prospect pools in all of the NHL, right? They have Juraj Slafkovsky, they have obviously Caden Gooley, they have relatively young still Cole Caulfield, Nick Suzuki. Right now they drafted Demidov. Last year they drafted Reinbacher and other guys as well. So they have a great prospect pool. And yeah, let's see what happens with Montreal Canadian fans. As I have been seeing the reactions on the social media, they are absolutely happy, absolutely thrilled about Ivan Demidov, and he should be a great player. Obviously, with Russians, always the question is, when will they come over the Atlantic Ocean? You know, when will they come to the NHL? That's always the question. So let's see when Ivan Demidov will be ready to come over to play for the Montreal Canadiens, but definitely the most purely skilled offensive player in this year's draft class. Let's see what happens, but he's expected to be NHL All-Star player. I have been reading some reports from The Athletic as well that he could reach like 90 to 100 points at his best, you know, but his floor should be something like 70, 80 points per season. Definitely Ivan Demidov, a great addition to Montreal Canadiens, already very young and very skilled lineup. Okay, and I want to talk about the teams that I think did a good job and did get some great players. So Calgary Flames, #9 pick overall, Zane Parek. He is a defenseman from Saginaw Spirit OHL. He has been the best defenseman in the OHL this past season, and based on the reports, he's a great offensive-minded defenseman. So Calgary definitely did a good job to pick up Zane Parek as the pick #9. I think he will be a great fit in Calgary. His player comparable, according to The Athletic, is John Klingberg, and I think he should be a great player for Calgary indeed. So I think Calgary did a great job getting a very skilled defenseman as #9 overall. Zane Parek going to Alberta. Very interesting also the #10 pick overall, New Jersey Devils drafting Anton Silayev, a Russian and a defenseman who is not offensively minded but more defensively minded defenseman. Again, according to The Athletic, his player comparable is Zdeno Chara. So you can probably right now imagine what type of defenseman Anton Silayev is. He doesn't really have, based on the reports from the scouts, a lot of the offensive up-down, you know, or offensive skills that you would expect, but he's a very good defensive-minded defenseman. Again, when you look at the roster of the New Jersey Devils, they already do have Luke Hughes, a great offensive-minded defenseman. They have Simon Nemec, a great, again from Slovakia, from my country, a great offensive defenseman. Right now in Anton Silayev, who is, by the way, 6'7". He's really tall, 207 pounds, born in 2006 April. He should be a great defensive-minded defenseman. Again, they are comparing him to Zdeno Chara, so New Jersey already have some very offensive-minded defensemen in their group. So right now they add Anton Silayev, another great defenseman in this year's draft prospect pool. Just a couple of more picks that we'll go through, guys. Pick #11 overall. Yes, again, San Jose Sharks. What a draft it has been for the Sharks fans. #1 overall, they did get Macklin Celebrini, a great center, and from the pick number 11, which they traded for. They wanted an upgrade in the first round for this, their second pick. In the first round, they get Sam Dickinson, a great defenseman who is projected to be maybe a top pair defenseman in the NHL in the future. A great skater. He is 6'3", 203 pounds, born in June 2006. Top of the lineup player. This is his projection. He could be a top pair defenseman. As I have said, he has been a key player for the London Knights in the OHL this past season. So definitely San Jose Sharks, they are very happy with how the things turned out. Eventually they did get Macklin Celebrini, the greatest prize in this year's draft. And from the number 11, they did get Sam Dickinson, a great defenseman. Again, most of the people had him higher than number 11. So definitely great pick for the San Jose Sharks. And guys, we are finishing with pick 12 overall, Minnesota Wild. This team right here, my favorite team, the team I am cheering for, got their man. They got Zeev Buium from the University of Denver, and he is a star player, a stud defenseman. This has been, you know, in our circles of the Minnesota Wild fans, we have been saying maybe this is the biggest draft steal of all time. I don't know if I would go that far, but definitely Zeev Buium was not expected to be available at number 12 overall. He's a great defenseman, projected to be number 1 defenseman in the future, potentially a great transition defenseman, a great, you know, puck mover, a great skater, a great, you know, mind player that can make plays happen. He has the potential to run the first power play in the future in the NHL for the Minnesota Wild. Again, we already have in the organization a great player, a great defenseman in his own right, Brock Faber, who definitely challenged Connor Bedard for the Calder Trophy this season, and the future pair of Brock Faber and Zeev Buium definitely makes for quite a party in Minnesota in the future. So one of the biggest steals, definitely probably the fans of Minnesota Wild, along maybe with Montreal Canadiens. They got Ivan Demidov at number 5. Minnesota got at number 12 Zeev Buium, a great defenseman, expected to be a top player at the NHL level, maybe a future all-star. Great skating again, great vision, great playmaking abilities, great transition game. Minnesota definitely has to be happy with Zeev Buium, and he seems to be happy to be drafted by Minnesota as well, because Minnesota, obviously, they made a trade with Philadelphia Flyers to move up 1 spot in order to get Zeev Buium. And Philadelphia then got from Minnesota a pick in the 3rd round of next year's draft, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. So even Buium was saying in the interviews after the draft that he really values or he really appreciates how Minnesota really values him, that they were, you know, able to even trade with Philadelphia to get a higher position in the draft in order to secure him, to secure Zeev Buium. So great news for Minnesota Wild fans. Buium is officially a Minnesota Wild. And yeah, this has been the breakdown of the really top players from the NHL Draft 2024. My thoughts, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please, guys, make sure to hit that like button, and also please subscribe, as we are trying to gain more and more subscribers. We are trying to grow this channel. I would really appreciate that. And thank you guys again for watching this video, and tell me in the comments, please, what do you think about this year's draft? What do you think were the biggest steals, and what were the biggest surprises for you? Anyways, guys, that's it for today's video, and see you soon. Bye for now. Bye, guys.